Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. My name is Jared Dowdy. I'm the Senior Manager of National Sales Training for Hyundai Motor America. Over the next 20 to 30 minutes, the one thing I want you to keep in mind as you're looking through your events and things to do this morning, you might look at this and say, automotive industry doesn't apply to me, and I don't work in the automotive industry, so how does this apply to what I do? We all have the same issues, the same situations, and that is the onboarding, hiring, retention, and the training of our salespeople. So as we go throughout this presentation, I may be talking about one solution, but we all have the same issues, and think about how this may apply to your industry. So at Hyundai, we are a huge country. We got a lot of salespeople to train, a lot of people to onboard, a lot of people to retain. We have 100% staff turnover. You look at me and say, Jared, how's that possible? It used to be higher. It was 130%. It's down to 100, so we're headed in the right direction, but still an issue, right? We all have similar issues. Your turnover may not be as high, but we all have the same issue, right? Even though we have these great products coming out and innovative technology that we're introducing into the marketplace, we still have that turnover. So one thing that we decided to do was introduce an in-dealership training program. Long time ago, we developed these e-learning courses that were 40 and 50-minute courses. And as an employee, I'm like signing up for 13, 14 of those courses and have to sit down for 8, 10 hours at a day, 2 weeks at a time to take all these courses. Who's in for that? No, not me. So we wanted to get away from that and go in dealership. So what that meant was we hired 21 full-time dedicated trainers to go into our Hyundai stores. And what they were training on was not just product, but it was process and how you can relate to your customers, how to talk to them, what things to talk about when they come in. And we had a huge success. Product knowledge went through the roof. Customers recognized that. They were being treated fairly, they were being treated better, and we were starting to retain people. So that's how our retention went from 130% down to 100. So it wasn't the end-all, be-all, wasn't the magic bullet, right? So there's something missing, right? There's challenges that we have. So things that we had to address. There's 21 simultaneous sessions going on every day. So each one of those trainers develops and implements a different training session at each dealership. So it's customizable. So when they go into the dealership, they find out what their needs are. They're in that dealership every 6 to 8 weeks, and they're training them specific to what their needs are, okay? So as they go through, the other thing was there's different competitive models. There's anywhere from 2 to 8 competitive models per region, per city. It varies all the time, so they have to customize that to fit those dealerships' needs. Printing workbooks. I am not a fan of print, not a fan of paper. People come in and we go through review content, email it to me, I hate print. So one of the things we had to address is how do we go digital? And how do we get away from print? Because handing a millennial, I have millennial kids, you hand them a workbook or a piece of paper, it's going in the trash. Dad, can you just email that to me? I don't deal with this, right? So we had to address that. Also, from a business intelligence reporting aspect, we had to find a way to get more results and find more metrics so that we could measure what we were doing. We had a little bit, but not a lot, and then how to implement that into the dealerships. So along came our partnership with Bridge Learning Technologies and the creation of the Test Drive Suite. So what the Test Drive Suite was it says single mobile app, it's device agnostic. So what I didn't want to do is shoehorn anybody into a specific solution. Everybody has a mobile phone. Some people have tablets, some people have a desktop. Wanted to be able to give them the ability to learn how they wanted to learn, okay? So for the older people that maybe don't like the mobile and the technology side of it, wanted to be able to give them that desktop solution as well. The other thing was, we wanted, because the automotive industry, like a lot of your industries may be, is ever changing. It's changing daily. So we had to have the ability to update our content, update our training sessions on a daily basis. Again, going back to the print, where we're printing out a workbook, you can imagine I'm stuck with that for 6 to 8 weeks or until the workbooks are gone. With this, we can update content on a daily basis and stay current with the market. Maximum security, for each session, a unique code or a unique security code was created so that the salesperson could log into that session, they could keep their content, retain that content, and would go into their library so they could access that at a later date. It's also scalable. So whether you had 2 people in a room or whether you had 20, everybody could participate. Again, going back to that device agnostic, everybody can use their platform to train. We also got huge reporting results back from this, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So how we rolled this out, there's a saying from our corporate entity, Hyundai Motor Company back in Korea, and it's Bali Bali. And that means hurry up, faster, faster, chop, chop, let's go. So we rolled this out, and when Bridge came to us and said, how soon do you need this technology? Of course, our answer was yesterday, right? A lot of us have the same issue. I needed this stuff yesterday. How quick can you get it done? So we developed this in 2 months. That's impossible. 2 to 3 weeks of that was spent internal testing and legal review. So in just over a month and a half, this solution was developed. Once it was developed, the end test was take it out to our full-time trainers because they're in the dealerships and they're training their employees. Take it out to them and say, okay, does this work? Do you have any feedback for us? We went to Salt Lake City, Utah. We brought in 8 competitive vehicles. We had dynamic tracks so they could immerse themselves in the competitive vehicles. We had this test drive suite. They ripped it apart. Much to our excitement, there was minimal to little feedback. So we created a great solution, and they said, how quickly can we get this out? And we said, good news, next week. So we implemented the changes over the weekend, rolled this out to our dealerships the next week. The results, immediate engagement. Dealers are always asking us for, I need you to come to my dealership. I can't take my people away. We spent millions of dollars on ride and drives to take people off-site, drive vehicles, teach them about competitive vehicles, and the dealership said, whoa, time out. I don't want to spend any more money, and I can't take my salespeople away from the store. So bringing this solution into their dealership, immediate engagement, created long-lasting stories. So as they go through this content, they're taking pictures of the competitive vehicles. They're taking pictures of the different aspects of each vehicle so that they can show their customers when they come in, hey, this is what I experienced. You may experience the same thing when you go out there. So the nice thing about this test drive suite also was there's chatbot functionality that was built into it. So if I don't have the answer, I know everybody smiles, chatbot, that's the way everything is going. If I don't have the answer, I know where to find it, right? Long past are the days of I've got to memorize everything and retain all this information. I don't need to teach you everything about the automotive industry. I just need to teach you where to find it. So that's where this helped out as well. It also created market awareness. Who's out there? Who are our competitive makes out there? The immediate results, these results as they went through and they analyzed each vehicle side by side, the results were produced right after the session. So to close out the session, we were showing the end results. This is how you rated each vehicle. This is what you said, not what I'm telling you or what your customers are telling you, right? So immediate, and it was a fair comparison side by side. So from this, our results, you look at this and go, okay, you have 636 dealerships and you only hit 202 courses. How is that possible? That's not a lot. It is when you consider the fact that this was a pilot and we only had it for 2 to 3 weeks. So we hit over 200 of our dealerships, trained over 1,000 sales consultants, and had over 10,000 answers submitted. So not only they're answering questions, taking assessments along the way, they also have the information right in front of them. So this is rolled out by Bridge Learning Technologies throughout the United States, just in Korea, and it's been in Russia for a little while. We're also adding a test drive dynamic portion of that as well. So in conclusion, what we learned and what I've known for a while is technology has to be rolled out into everything that we do. Okay? People are asking for it. That's the way of the future. So that's the way that we're going. Offer as many opportunities as they're asking for. They'll take it. They'll digest it. Give them those bite-sized pieces. That's what we're seeing all over here. Give them that those bite-sized pieces so they can retain it and learn it, and show them where to fish. Don't give them the fish. Teach them where to fish, right? And how to fish. Look for practical solutions. The age of e-learning, long gone. I will not go to, and we're transforming over this year, I'll not go back to those e-learning courses that are 40 to 50-minute courses. I come from a retail background. I did it myself. I will not do that. I will not make somebody sit down and take an hour-long course. So finding that even balance in the technology where we can integrate that. Don't be afraid of outsourcing. So for me and one other person are in charge of all of the sales training in the United States. 836 dealerships. How do you do it? Partners, vendors, right? I could hire, and I ask for all the time, and get turned down. Nope, no more headcount, but you got to get it done. So what do? We find strategic partners. We find those partnerships. It's finding the right ones that can do it quickly, efficiently, and within budget and on time, right? Think different, think outside the box. One thing I want, and I'm always looking at is, yes, we found the right solution. Now how can we tweak it and how can we make it better? How can we impact somebody's life? So for me, I know I talked really quick, I apologize, but I want to leave room if there's any questions that anybody has. This isn't the only solution that we've rolled out with Bridge Learning Technologies. Again, we're integrating the chatbot into that. We're integrating some test drive elements to that. Again, going away from the costly, bring everybody into a huge event and create that stuff. So questions, anyone? You want a mic?
Hello, thank you
yes.
for that. Really informative. I'm quite keen to understand when you were rolling out the app, were your staff using their own devices or were they using company devices?
Great question. So it was a little bit of both. So if they had their own device, they had a mobile device or they had tablets, great, they could use those. If they didn't, we brought some along with us. So it does work really well if they want to share, especially on a tablet. But yeah, it was a combination of both. So.
Hi Jared, great presentation.
Thank
Just
you.
a quick question. How long has this been going on? What are your impressions beyond the trial? Has it already been rolled out full scale?
Yes.
Do you have any other feedback?
Yeah, great question. So we just started this last year. We're rolling this out for the duration of this year. We utilized it for the Santa Fe launch last year, brand new vehicle. And so the next vehicle that we're going to utilize this with is the Palisade. Chatbot functionality has been working for 2 years? 2 years now. So we've integrated that portion, this test drive suite and this competitive comparison. We rolled out last year, and it's, again, Palisade launched this year, the facelift Elantra, and the new Sonata. So all new product launches will be rolling out this year. Did that answer your question?
Sorry, can you tell me what's in the app? Because have you taken videos of all the competitive vehicles? So what exactly is going on? And in the bot, is it someone in a room somewhere, or is it AI? Or what actually is the interaction that goes on when the person opens the app? What do they see?
So within the app, there are a set of questions, and we start at a specific place in the vehicle. So we start at the hood maybe, and it says, okay, how easy is it to unlatch the hood? Is it easy to locate certain fluids? Once you get inside, how's the dash laid out? So they're analyzing and they're rating the vehicle. And within the app, if they can't find something, they have a question, that's where the chatbot functionality, and I don't speak code, I just know how it works, and you type the question in and it answers it. Bridge Learning Technology can tell you how that works.
They're not experts in the product. They're obviously the learning facilitator.
No, they are in both. Yes, yeah, they are in both the product and in the technology.
But they don't know about vehicles. It's not their thing. You're obviously in the car industry.
Well, yes. So I'm the SME. Yes. So they develop what we think we want. We give them feedback. Here's how we want to change it in the questions, especially because it's market to market. They develop it for Russia, not the same in the U.S. Right? We pretend that we're different. Well, every country's different, right? So yes, we're the SME. We tell them what content we want, what type of questions we want. They develop that. And as far as the competitive vehicles, we drive those into the dealership. So we do an analysis of who's my major competitor. The other vehicles we have, we do pictures, we do side-by-sides, we have handouts for that type of stuff, or photographs, so that you can look at and say, okay, how is it laid out? But we actually physically drive one competitive vehicle into the dealership.
But the key thing is that you and marketing must work quite close together in terms of identifying the market, the competition, 100%. And then what's important and what's differentiator, and then you get the guys to focus on those things which differentiate you from the competition.
100%.
Okay.
Yes. So product planning, and our corporate and product planning tells us, here's who we think your competitive vehicles are, but then we have to analyze who's really coming in and cross-shopping us against that vehicle. So, great question. Anybody else? In the back?
Hello. Oh, how do you get people engaged in using it
In the app?
in the app?
So getting our dealerships to embrace technology is like pulling teeth. Okay, imagine for those of us who have kids, trying to get them to change their habits, very difficult. Same with our dealerships. So when we're taking baby steps in introducing this technology and having them, as soon as they see the tablets, especially with this younger generation, they're embracing it. The people that maybe necessarily don't engage in technology are embracing it as well because they see how excited they are and how dynamic it is. That's the beautiful thing about it, is it's easy. It walks you through this process. So it's not scary. I can't figure this thing out. I don't want it. It's very thought out and very engaging for them. So thank you. Yeah. Yes. Great point.
Because I do product training as well, and the thing is, if you give them information that helps them make money, they'll look at it.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes. Other questions? No? Going once? Twice? Sold. Thank you very much, everybody.